God has measured and ordained everything that has happened and will ever happen to his creatures, in accordance to his prior knowledge and in accordance to his wisdom. In Islam, faith is comprised of four principal beliefs. The first principle is knowledge. We believe that God knows everything. Everything in the past, everything in the present, and everything in the future. That which has happened and that which is yet to happen. His knowledge is eternal. He neither learns new knowledge, nor does he forget what he knows. The second principle is prescription. In other words, everything has been written and is preserved in a record with God. This includes everything that has ever happened and all that is destined to happen until the very last day. The third principle is will. Muslims believe that God allows certain things to happen in this world according to his will. Nothing ever happens except that it is subservient to the will of God. Likewise, that which is not in accordance to his will shall never come to pass. The fourth principle is creation. Muslims believe that God is the creator of all things great and small, all things visible and invisible, past and present, known and unknown. To him belongs all that is on earth and all that is in the heavens and everything in between. However, human beings have the ability to choose between right and wrong. Islam teaches that we have been given free will and volition, and we will be judged by God in accordance to our ability to make a judgment. In Islam, judgment is lifted from anyone who does not possess the ability to reason and exercise free will. This includes the mentally challenged and those who are compelled to undertake certain actions against their free will.
Believe in the qadr of Allah. If we believe that everything that's going to happen in the dunya and in the akhirah has already been written in stone by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then what motivation do we have to go out and put forth the extra effort and to strive for what we want, for our rizq, for our akhirah, etc.? It's a really good question because it's actually a question that the Sahaba asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam during his time. If we already know that everything that's going to happen in this earth has already been written well before we were alive, then why do we have to put forth the extra effort? Why do we have to actually make the sacrifices and work towards what we want in this life? Now, before I answer that question, I just want to ask you a couple more questions, and I want you to actually take a moment and just reflect on the answers. The first question is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised to us that if we feel hunger in our stomachs and we put our trust in him, that we rely on him, that he will satisfy that hunger for us. He'll satisfy that feeling in our stomachs. So why do we have to eat? Why do we have to physically put food in our mouth if we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take care of that feeling, inshallah? Also, when we feel the urge to use the bathroom, why do we have to actually get up and physically go to the bathroom when we know that it's already prescribed for us whether or not we're going to feel relief to that urge? Those are very good questions because they follow the same concept. Allah has already written down everything for us, so why should we put forth the extra efforts? Now, the answer to this question is because the qadr of Allah, what Allah has written for me and for you and for everyone on this earth, is not based on what's going to fall into our lap. It doesn't mean that we're just going to do nothing in our whole life, and if Allah willed for us to own this big mansion, we're going to get the mansion. And if we never prayed in our life and Allah willed for us to go to Jannah, He said that we're going to Jannah, but we never prayed and we never did good, we're just going to Jannah. That's not how it works. The qadr of Allah, what Allah has written down for us, is based on His knowledge of us. Allah knows everything about His creation, and He knows exactly what actions we're going to take throughout our entire lives. And that's what your qadr is based on. So, for example, maybe He wrote that you, watching this video today, 5 years from this moment, you will be a multi-millionaire. But does that mean that you won't do anything to get to that position? Absolutely not. What it means is that Allah knows that you're going to do exactly what it takes to get you to that spot in your life. He knows that you're going to take every necessary action to become a millionaire, and that's why it's written down in your destiny for you. Now, on the other hand, for example, maybe me, I do the same exact thing that you do, and Allah has not willed for me to become a millionaire. So we might take the same actions, but we get different results. Why is that? Because the efforts, we are only in control of the efforts. We can control what actions we take, but the results are up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So me and you, we might do the same exact thing, but I might get one thing and you might get another, because Allah knows what's best for us and Allah wants to test us in different ways. So that's our contentment. That's what we have to keep in our minds, that we have to put all the effort for everything that we want in our lives, but we have to keep in mind that whatever comes of those efforts is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, and it's funny because there's actually a story from one of the Sahaba, Umar ibn al-Khattab, and he came across a group of men who were known amongst the people, and they were known because they did not want to work. And Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, he asked them, who are you people? What do you call yourselves? Who are you? And they told him that we are the mutawakkilun. We are the people who put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, when he heard this, he could not believe that that's what they were calling themselves. Do you know what he replied to them? Do you know what he said back? He told them that you guys are not the mutawakkilun. You guys are the muta'akkilun. You are the ones who expect others to give them handouts. As for the mutawakkil, the people who actually put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first they put their seed in the ground, they plant it, they bury it, and they take care of it, and then they put their trust in Allah and they leave the results to Him. And inshallah, He will reward them for their efforts. So what can we take from that lesson? What can we learn from that? Basically, what that means for us is that we need to take the means. We need to put forth the effort and do everything in our control, everything in our power to achieve whatever goals we have in our life. And then we have to keep in our mind that whatever happens of those efforts, whatever fruits we get from those labors are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, I hope that answered the question for you. And if you like this video, please join us on Facebook at facebook.com/wealthinislam and join for our best tips and most exclusive tips for achieving success while strengthening and growing your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.